All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're decoding exactly why we struggle with laziness and how 7 brilliant Japanese techniques can completely rewire our brains for action. You know that feeling when you stare at a to-do list and it literally looks like a mountain? You feel totally drained before you even begin? Well, today we're going to look at this entirely differently. We aren't just talking about surface-level life hacks here. We're looking at a profound cultural shift in how we approach effort and energy.
So why do our massive morning ambitions just fizzle out by 5 p.m.? We've all been there, right? We beat ourselves up about it, but the truth is, laziness isn't some moral flaw or a bad character trait. The Japanese perspective treats this more like a temporary mental state. It's actually a biological brain process reacting to overwhelm. When you plan a huge task, your brain literally hits the brakes. It's designed to conserve energy, so it naturally fights back against a massive drain. Understanding this is absolutely crucial to beating it.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll find your core purpose, then master daily execution, optimize your body and environment, and finally, embrace imperfect action. Let's get into it. Section 1. Finding your core purpose. Let's start at the absolute foundation of human motivation by asking a simple but pretty heavy question. Why do you actually choose to get out of bed each morning?
This brings us to the concept of Ikigai. Basically, it translates to your reason for being. Think of it like a giant puzzle where what you love, what you're genuinely good at, and what the world desperately needs all perfectly click together. Honestly, a lot of people feel lazy simply because they lack a clear goal. If you're exhausted by a job you hate, well, that's definitely not your Ikigai. Without it, life just becomes a monotonous cycle of eating and sleeping.
To really put this into perspective, think about a mom staying up all night with a sick kid. Is she feeling lazy? Does she need a motivational speech to keep her eyes open? Absolutely not. She has a burning, undeniable purpose that completely overrides her brain's desire to sleep. When you find your personal Ikigai, you literally never need external motivation again. The internal drive is just that strong.
Section 2. Mastering daily execution. So once you've got that grand purpose, how do you actually take those daunting first steps without your brain putting up a massive fight? The secret sauce here is Kaizen. Remember how we said the brain naturally resists massive tasks? If you tell yourself, I'm going to work out for an hour today, your brain immediately counters with, nope, too hard, let's do it tomorrow. Kaizen is a technique that totally tricks your brain into bypassing that fear. It's the philosophy of refusing to make overwhelming changes all at once and instead focusing on tiny, continuous, daily improvements.
And the best way to apply this is the Kaizen 1-minute rule. Just commit to doing a dreaded task. Maybe reading a textbook or cleaning your room for exactly 60 seconds. That's it. 1 minute is such a short amount of time that your brain doesn't even register it as a threat. It doesn't resist. And once you start, that 1 minute naturally snowballs into 10 or 20 minutes because the true secret to beating procrastination isn't willpower at all. It's simply the act of starting.
Now, to keep that momentum going, the Pomodoro Technique is absolutely vital. You see, human brains just aren't wired to maintain peak focus for hours on end. Actually, research shows we max out at about 30 to 40 minutes before we start desperately craving a distraction, like scrolling through our phones. By breaking your work into intense 25-minute sprints of absolute focus, followed by a strict 5-minute complete rest, you're working with your brain's natural rhythm, instead of fighting it.
Think of it like this. You climb a massive mountain by taking deliberate rests, right? Not by sprinting the entire way up. During that 5-minute break, seriously, don't look at another screen. Step away, drink a glass of water, walk around, or just listen to a song. Taking a true mental break prevents fatigue from building up, which lets you work for hours without ever hitting that dreaded wall of laziness.
Section 3. Optimizing body and environment. Let's move into the physical world and see how our diet and our workspace are silently dictating our energy levels every single day.
Take a look at this 80-20 split. This represents Hara Hachi Bu, an incredibly brilliant dietary practice from the centenarians over on Okinawa Island. It's a remarkably simple rule. You deliberately stop eating when your stomach is exactly 80% full. The very second you feel like you could eat just a little bit more, you stop.
We constantly wonder why we get that massive afternoon slump where we can't focus on anything. Well, when you eat until you're 100% full, your body redirects a ton of your brain's blood flow and energy right down to your stomach just to handle digestion. Hello, food coma. But by stopping at 80%, digestion becomes effortless. That guarantees you have lasting, sharp energy all afternoon long.
Next up in our environment, we have the principles of Seiri and Seiton. Essentially, clearing your space to clear your mind. In Japanese culture, physical cleanliness is almost like a form of meditation. Physical clutter, whether it's a messy desk or even a disorganized photo gallery on your phone, creates this heavy, subconscious mental stress. Your brain sees the mess and boom, it immediately triggers procrastination. So clear your space first because a clear space guarantees a clear mind.
Section 4. Embracing imperfect action. This is where we dismantle the ultimate illusion that causes laziness, the paralyzing fear of failure, and the mental trap of perfectionism.
Enter Kintsugi. This offers a stunning mental reframe. It's the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery using a lacquer mixed with gold. Instead of throwing a broken bowl away or trying to hide the cracks, they actually highlight the flaws, making it even more beautiful than before. We absolutely need to view our own projects like this. Don't freeze up just because you're a beginner and you're terrified of making a mistake. Treat every mistake as a golden repair that just makes your journey richer.
Building right on top of that is Wabi-Sabi, which is all about finding beauty in imperfection and things that are incomplete. This completely destroys the old excuse of waiting for the right time. How often do we say, "Oh, I'll start next month," or "I'll start when I buy a new computer"? Newsflash, nothing in this world is perfectly complete. Waiting for the perfect moment is just a totally false hope.
Waiting for perfection just keeps you completely paralyzed in a state of laziness. You can't figure out the path by just sitting around and overthinking it. It's only through the physical act of stepping forward, however imperfectly, that the path finally starts to reveal itself. Doing something with mistakes is infinitely more valuable than doing absolutely nothing at all. Action brings clarity every single time.
So let's look at this complete toolkit we've just unpacked. We've gone from finding your deep purpose with Ikigai to tricking your brain into action with the Kaizen 1-minute rule, keeping your focus dialed in with Pomodoro, optimizing your energy with the 80% diet of Hara Hachi Bu, clearing your mind through Seiri and Seiton, and finally, destroying the fear of failure with Kintsugi and Wabi-Sabi. These aren't just mere productivity hacks, guys. This is a profound philosophical shift in how you operate your daily life.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. Laziness is not who you are. It's simply a changeable mental state, and you now have the exact blueprint to override your brain's resistance and take back control. So, what tiny, imperfect action are you going to take right now?